Inspector knows that this is a cooperative game with a mystery theme that really doesn't have any role in the game. Cooperative and mainly geared toward children. I played it with my daughters who are currently 8 and 10 and they really enjoyed it. Especially the 8-year-old is obsessed with this game. She's constantly asking me to play it, especially since she can win every time, and basically playing cooperative, she can score almost the maximum amount of points every time. She really enjoys that. Which also tells it's a game that you can master quite easily and quite quickly. I don't see it as a game that you really play a game night with your adult friends, not a true family game in the sense that adults and children can play with equal gusto, mainly for children and the adult who enjoys playing a game that the children are enjoying. Now, in the game, players will alternate taking on the role of Inspector Knows. In truth, what you do is you're going to try to communicate a card to the other players using only dice. You shuffle these cards that simply have numbers between 1 and 5 when you are Inspector Knows, and then you draw 1. 3, this is the card I'm going to try to communicate to my fellow players. You have this card here that is always placed on the table, and then you draw 5 cards randomly from this deck of cards, each representing a main subject with many different topics. Also, they are double-sided, so you shuffle, mix them, so you have a little bit of variety there. It's quite a deck. So here I have my line of 5 cards, and if I'm Inspector Knows trying to communicate a card, here I have my 3, so this is the number I'm trying to communicate, 1, 2, 3, so I know I'm trying to tell monkey to my fellow players. To do so, I'm gonna pick up 5 of these dice. They're all different and each has different subjects, and I had to pick them up randomly. I don't get to choose them. I rolled them, and then without saying anything, I choose one and I place it here on the card to indicate that that's a clue. Now, of course, here's where the creativity comes to play, because I don't have anything that really means monkey here. In my idea, this is in the air, so that reminds me of the monkey. There's also this one that, of course, qualifies, but it's okay, because after I give a clue, my fellow players don't have to guess yet. They have to exclude a card. So they don't really know if it's this one, or something else, but I think probably flag is not likely to be a desk. And so what they're going to do, they pick up that card and they move it slightly from the line so that it's clear that that's the one that they excluded, but also it needs to stay in the line, because remember, we need to make sure that we remember that this one is number 5, 4, and this one is number 3. And I say, yes, that is correct. If that is correct, that is, they eliminated a card, which is not the card we're looking for, then I get another die. Again, I rolled the 5. And now I am, I guess here, I'm going to use this one, wait, because I'm thinking the monkey is lifting itself. And again, they don't know exactly which one it is, but maybe they think he's not the swan. And yeah, that is correct. And so on and so forth. So at the end, so the game continues until either they have removed every card and only the right one is left, the correct one is left, or we make a mistake. If you make a mistake, or actually, either way, at the end of the round, the points that you score is how many cards you removed. So if you have a perfect score in a round, it's 4 points, because you removed 4 cards and you left the correct one. If we make a mistake, then the numbers of cards that we correctly eliminated is still the number of points that we score. So if this is the end of the game, of the round, because somebody says, we're gonna eliminate monkey. No, you shouldn't eliminate monkey. Then for this round, we score 3 points. And that's pretty much it. Once a player has been Inspector Knows and we scored, hopefully, some points, you set up the next round by, again, getting 5 cards out. Somebody else becomes Inspector Knows. Say this time we have to communicate number 4. The player picks up 5 dice, and again you start giving clues and so on and so forth. You play 5 rounds. So since each round you can have up to 4 points that you score by removing the 4 cards that are not it, then that means that the total you can score up to 20 points. And this is in essence how you play Inspector Knows. The more points you score after 5 rounds, the better it is. So it's not a bad game for children. Actually, for children, I think it's a pretty awesome game because they love it. My daughters love it. And again, my daughter Luisa really, really likes it. And for adults, after we start winning every time, almost every time at a cooperative game, we want more challenge. Maybe, I don't know if it's just my daughter, but children really seem to operate different, which is once they start winning, they want to do it and they want to play the game that they know they can win. And it hasn't been uncommon for us to score 19 or 20 points even. I would actually say in a round, either you score very poorly or you get it right. It seems it was rare for us to score, say, 3 points. Maybe the first clue, you just it's not that clear and you have the unlucky guess and that's it. But otherwise, once you're having 3 clues there, it's very easy to get to the last one. Again, just a matter of practice. And although you do have a good number of cards and they're double-sided also, some sort of convention start kind of like getting in the way. Some things, there's one with a camera on a tripod, and just because we used it several times to mean feet or legs, then just that's what it means. And I can't find, of course, but I know it's there. So there is that. Also, something that at least to me is a little bit anticlimactic is that every card that you eliminate correctly scores exactly the same amount of points. It feels to me like when you get to the card that eliminates everything, you have the solution of the case, so to speak. There should be something special. It should feel a little cooler. But ultimately, if you eliminated correctly 3 cards, getting it right or getting it wrong is still 1 point, exactly like eliminating the first one. And also anticlimactic because it's 50% chance. So even if I get it wrong or get it right, just when you get something right because it's 50% chance, it's just not as exciting. So almost thinking of a little variant, this is a suggestion that I give you. If you also find that the game just a little bit bland because the solution of the case is not any different from eliminating anything else. The idea would be when you get down to 2, maybe you can choose to, if you want to give the final guess, here's the point. If you decide to give the final guess, you lose a point if you get it wrong, but you score 3 points if you get it right. I like something at stake there that makes solving the case, eliminating the last card, finding the solution. I like something to make it a little more special. Other than that, I played this game a lot. in the last couple of days, and I'm starting to get a little bit bored, and that's it. It's a good problem to have when you're starting to get a little bit bored, but you're spending time with your family, you're hanging out with your children. Your 8-year-old daughter is radiant and so excited, so happy. They made our own personal log, a little scorebook for there's supposed to be a nose. I know it's just sometimes understanding why children draw what they do. So that's to tell you how much they like this game. Again, the 8-year-old Luisa loves it. So I'm happy that I have it in my collection because it has brought a lot of joy to my daughters, especially Luisa. It's not a game that I believe translates well to be played by adults with adults, as other family games do. Say Kings of Tokyo, I could play with King of Tokyo, play with my daughters, play with adult friends, all good. This one really is for children mainly. But especially if you can convince your children to play with one another so you don't have to play too much, great buy. But again, it's good to hang out with your family. It's good to see them having fun. Inspector Knows is a fun cooperative game for children. Not as fun really for adults, in my opinion at least.